This guy's business did 50 million bucks last year, and honestly, he's one of the most peaceful people I've ever met. So I wanted to introduce you all to the founder of Magic Mind, James Beshara.
Morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for having me.
About 6 a.m. Right on cue.
He's got a happy marriage, he's got great kids, happy family, happy home life, all the things that we all want, and might be under the impression that there's a trade-off of, oh, if you want to be successful, you got to sacrifice this, or you got to let this thing go, or what have you. I know that's kind of paradoxical in this world of, oh, don't you have to hustle and suffer to be an entrepreneur? Well, you can, but you don't have to. And James is proof that that is not the case. For those of you that don't know, Magic Mind is a super popular, ready-to-drink mental performance shot. We did $50 million in revenue last year. It's a team of maybe 10-ish people. It's already profitable, continues to grow. James also founded 2 other companies, and they're growing now, and he's about to start another one. He's invested in about 150 companies as well. James has done so many things. When I first met him, I was just thinking, hey, I need to understand what's going on in this dude's mind and just see how he operates and see how he's different than me. Here I'm going to distill the biggest things that I learned from him. James starts his day super early and studies the timeless, as he calls it, whether it's Shakespeare, whether it's the Bible. The main philosophy that James is into is called Advaita Vedanta, which is based on the Hindu Vedas of many thousands of years ago.
Part of the day starts in this chair right here, where I'll do about 90 minutes of just stillness and spiritual study and reflection.
One of the first things I realized is that James has energy and focus basically all day. Sure, you could credit that to Magic Mind. I only saw him drink 1 all day, maybe he drank 2, but that is only one aspect of it.
My phone is not in my favorite tools at all. The phone is, I think, a terrible device for productivity. I will leave my phone in a closet or in a drawer 90% of the time.
He does 90% of his work from his iPad Pro and his keyboard attachment. And he walks around with his Apple Watch and can quickly send messages and take notes and things like that. Without all of these distractions or potential distractions pulling at your mind, he can really focus and get into these pockets of deep work. He'll check his email a few different times a day in batches. The next thing is that he's very anti-Slack and tries to avoid meetings whenever possible.
We do not use Slack because Slack is like, I'm always on, you can always chat with me. We want to have an environment where you have a metaphorical office with a closed door.
Instead, him and his team really communicate asynchronously through emails, through Google Docs, and through Loom videos, and just like slow, sane, focused productivity. And then I asked him about his positive internal state, and he attributes that to a few different things. It's not just, oh, think positively. That's not how he does it.
Those mistakes that compound to negative inner dialogue stem from 2 things: attachment to the result that isn't happening, and I'm really frustrated, saddened, or agitated by that. And then 2, my motives are all selfish. You cannot have agitation if you are unselfish. Closely aligned with attachment to a result, it's usually a selfish result. It is oftentimes me jumping in, catching myself wanting to do something else, and be like, no, this is what we're doing right now. Probably 30% of my inner dialogue during the day is me telling myself, no, we're doing this. Like leading a horse.
But this all maps back to one of his key philosophies. I met James because he runs a monthly philosophy meetup here in Venice. It's the Venice Vedanta meetup. So referring to Advaita Vedanta, which is multi-thousands of years old. James can tell you all about that, and you can check out his podcast called The Daily Vedantic and other content he has. Of the many amazing ideas he's shared there, I think the big key that I realized with being with him is that he is solely focused on what is called in this philosophy Svadharma. And Svadharma means one's true nature, how they are naturally wired.
Take a piece of paper and write out the answers to these questions. What are the things that you loved when you were 5, 6, 7 years old? Before the world started to program your thinking into a thing, there's 5 jobs, and these other things that you might like aren't valuable. What is the thing that you love doing so much you lose track of time doing it? You find yourself in a flow state. What is something you would do where the only reward of doing it is that you got to do more of it?
How many of us thought we had to be one thing or had to be another because that's what would earn respect, that's what would earn money, that would make our family happy? Before Magic Mind, James actually has a pretty well-known story that you can find online of how he burnt himself out. From his egoic mind, as he would describe it, he thought, okay, what's a bigger idea than Facebook? Okay, a social network for money. And he ended up building this company, raising money at a $400 million valuation, promising the world all these things, waking up in anxiety and terror of, oh, how am I going to fulfill all these promises? It ended up crashing and burning and sending him to the ER. The company fire sold to Airbnb, and he worked there for a few years before he ended up testing Magic Mind, just making himself a guinea pig and for friends before making it a real company. James has hustled super hard and it didn't work for him. So instead he tried a different approach. He really identifies as this builder, as this creator. This is just his nature. This is him just doing what he enjoys. James isn't starting companies willy-nilly. He really thinks for a while before he starts something, 12, 18 months, whatever, because he realizes that starting a company is, for him, he thinks something like a 10-year journey. That is what just gives him energy. He quotes something from the Vedas basically saying, it's better to die in your Svadharma, in your purpose, living according to your wiring, than living according to someone else's wiring or someone else's path. The ideology is that we all have some level of Svadharma, some level of natural wiring, and it's about finding what that is. I think that's really the secret to James's kind of effortless flow and productivity. He's operating in his Svadharma, in his zone of genius, following his natural rhythms and avoiding interruptions and context switching with all these messages and meetings and all these types of things. It made me reflect on how many times have I thought I had to be something else or someone else to be successful, to get the respect that I thought I wanted, or thinking, oh, this is the best and fastest path to money, and serving myself in this philosophy. Right action is that which brings you energy, wrong action is that which dissipates your energy. If you are living in your purpose and with your own natural wiring, it will continue to bring you energy and you will be successful, and a byproduct of that will be financial success that you're seeking. You'll have more than enough. Those are some of the things that I learned from spending the day with James Beshara, founder of Magic Mind, founder of a few other companies that are doing great, and very successful angel investor in around 150 companies. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and tune in for more videos and reflections through the different people that I interview.